switch sides.
Hi, welcome to In the Crease with Ztending. I'm your host, John Ztending. In this episode, we're going to be talking about stretching and pre-game rituals. But before I get to that, I want to get to Ztending news. It brings me great pride and joy to know that the Ztending community is developed to what it is. My goal isn't just to teach goalies everything about goaltending and hockey itself, but it's also to provide what I call the Ztending community, where we look out for each other as Ztenders, and it means something to be a Ztender. And to put on that jersey, just like you would for whatever program you are, but to put on that Ztending jersey and earn it throughout the summers and camps that you go through and all the training you do. But the pride and joy that I witnessed this summer was amazing. One of our fellow Ztenders, James Hawk, his family lost their house to a fire, and he lost a lot of his equipment to it. And they reached out to me, and they posted on our Facebook. And before I was even able to see it myself, Ztenders were commenting left and right. What do you need? What kind of equipment? Because James really wanted to get to our camp, and it was great that our Ztenders were able to supply him with full gear and able to. He made it out to the camp and had a great camp at Oldrick Road, and it's just amazing what the community has become. And it's just, I can't wait to see what it's going to progress too, because we are expanding, we're getting bigger and bigger. So therefore, I think there's only bigger and better things to happen. So thank you to the Ztenders that help, and those of you who, even if you didn't help, you tried and at least reached out. But that's a big thing about Ztending community. All right, now back onto the main topic. Let's talk about stretching and pre-game rituals. It's very important to stretch, absolutely. To create that speed that goaltenders need, you have to have flexibility and strength, that power, that strength. You bring those two together, strength and flexibility, that's where you get this speed, okay? But you need the stretching. It's absolutely important to stretch. You should be stretching every day, at least once. Wake up in the morning, stretch. Before you go to bed, stretch. Before you get on the ice, stretch. On the ice, stretch. Afterwards, stretch. It's so important, so important. Also, and another big thing too with stretching often is it's injury preventing. It's amazing how many times where you'll start stretching and say a lot of times they pull groins. Pull groins isn't because you didn't stretch your legs or your groin enough. A lot of times it's because you didn't stretch your core. Your core consisting of your front abdominals, side obliques, and your lumbar, your lower back. So the biggest thing here is a lot of times so you'll have your legs, they'll be nice and loose, but then all of a sudden your core will be tight. So what it does, those tight muscles, when you go to make a move, it pulls the muscles, pulls your groin, pulls your hip flexors, pulls all those muscles here, and then it's stretching the tear. That's what happens when you have like a groin tear and stuff like that. It's most commonly it's not because you didn't stretch. Okay, so now, of course there's freak accidents and all that stuff, but there's injury prevention. The simplest way to do that is stretching. Make sure you do your dynamic warm-up before you start stretching. Dynamic warm-up is simple, and we do them before every camp, before on ice and off ice. Just walking, bring your knees up to your chest. One good one is here, working the quads, foot back. And there's various other ones that you can do. And static stretching, you don't want to, another big thing about static stretching is you don't just want to do one stretch. Because when we go, let's say we're going into a split and you want to stretch your hamstring, which is great and everything, but you also want to get range of motion because we're not just going down toe up. I hope we're not going toe up because then our pad's not facing and sealing the ice. But you want to get the range of motion. So rotate. After you warm up with your dynamic warm up, rotate your stretch. So that way you get every part of the muscle. Pre-game rituals. Big thing that I'd love to do. A lot of goalies listen to music and stuff like that. Some don't. Some love to talk to their team. Some don't. You do or you don't talk. I know a lot of goalies, and this is more common now, they like just get away from the team. And that's something that I like to do personally as well. is I need to get my own area. I need to get focused. I need to be. I have to shut out everything else. Shut out before once you go in that locker room and you enter that rink. Everything that happens outside that rink doesn't matter. You have to go on with a complete, clear mindset to each game and each practice because you practice like you play. So if you're going in and your mind's crowded for practices, chances are you're not going to have a great practice and it's kind of going to be a waste. You want to make sure you have your max potential out of every practice. So you want to practice like you play in a game. So one of my favorite couple things to do, I like to listen to music. I do my stretches and all that stuff. I'll sit there, I'll have a puck, and I'll just stare at it. Then I'll close my eyes, and I'll stare at the puck just on the ice, moving. And then once I get focused on that puck, then I start bringing players in. And it's kind of like what we call mental movies. So basically, I can see everything happen in the play. Everything's happening around me. I see that puck. I'm focusing on the puck. I'm not focused on anything else, but I see the players. I see the play developing. And then I pull away from myself, and I actually start watching myself as the third person and see myself doing saves correctly, making those saves, proper movements, good transitions, eyes, hands, tuck, lift, push, getting over there. Not throwing the hands down and blocks out every time. Getting the active hands up there. Elbows in, gloves up and out. Sealing the ice with the pad. Simple things like that. Just start from the very basics. Don't just jump in, okay, big, huge glove save, that's it. Okay, great. No, start from the basics. Start with this stance. Start with stick in the middle. Gloves up. All right, we don't want to have one glove way too hard on the other. Keep them nice and even. Starting from in to out. Direct glove saves and blocker saves. Pucks on the ice, we're angling with the stick, put them to the corners. Best case scenario, out of the rink. So mental movies is a great, great thing. And obviously then you would want to warm up, not just your body, but you want to warm up your mind. So now we're warming up our mind. We got those mental movies going. And another thing to do is one of the biggest, most important thing for us goaltenders is, actually, before I even say that, and I'll ask this a question, what's the first thing that makes a save? Now, I know all of you Ztenders right now are answering it correctly. At least I hope so, because we drill it and drill it and drill it for years into your minds, and just so you know that answer. So the first thing that makes a save in any situation are your eyes. So now I got my body warmed up, I got my mind warmed up, I need to get my eyes warmed up. So easy thing to do is start juggling. Start juggling. Okay? Throw a ball against the wall. Use a reaction ball. Every goalie should be able to juggle. It's one of the easiest things to learn. Once you get it, it just takes practice, just like you do on the ice and off the ice for goaltending. Practice juggling. It's going to have, one of the best things is you throw time, you're using your peripherals, and you get your hand-eye coordination going there. You're working your eyes and your hands. And then also a good thing too is before you even get dressed, I know a lot of pro teams do this, they play a two-touch game with soccer. It's a soccer game where you can only touch it 2 times, then you have to pass it over, or a juggling game. Whatever game you play, that's a great game to play because it gets you moving, it gets you warmed up, it gets that competitive edge going, and also that, the foot coordination, it gets your feet moving, and your eye-hand coordination, all that stuff gets in there. Or eye-foot coordination, sorry. So getting your body, mind, eyes warmed up, crucial. This is everything before the ice. On the ice, you're out there, you're ready to go for the game. We're going to actually talk to a Ztender here. We're going to have a nice little interview. We're going to go through the same things. We're going to see what they like to do for their pre-game rituals, and we're also going to throw them in a hot seat real quick.
Let's get this rolling. All right. All right, so first off, I have to say, Curtis, you acknowledge that you're being recorded. I'm going to use this for Ztending, anything I can use for Ztending.
Okay.
Okay, I need you to say yes.
Yes. Yes.
All right, what team do you play for?
Grundy Senators, 16A Red.
Okay. So one things we're talking about today in the Crease with Ztending is pre-game rituals. What do you like to do before a game?
me, it starts before I even leave for the game. About half hour before we leave, I like to pack my bag, put my contacts in, and then get dressed up in that order. So that's just like the easiest for me. And then once I get to the ring, I just get my stuff kind of laid out. And then when we go out for our team warm up, I kind of just do similar stretches to once I get on the ice. Like I'll go down, touch my toes, like lunges and stuff. And then once we get in the locker room and start getting dressed, it's pretty much, I kind of like to stay to myself and just kind of, I normally, with my gear, I go left leg first and right. And then I always put my glove on first.
Okay.
And that's pretty much it.
Okay.
For, like, really rituals.
Yeah. So you do have the, put certain set of gear on first and whatnot.
Yeah.
So, all right. So I'm gonna put you in a hot seat right now. So I'm just gonna fire a couple questions at you, and you just have to answer them as quick as possible.
Okay.
All right. So starting now, favorite NHL team?
New Jersey Devils.
You can't be a Ztender anymore. Favorite goalie?
Martin Brodeur.
I really don't like you anymore. All right. What's your favorite food? And what
Pizza.
and what's your pregame food?
Pregame is in the morning, Dunkin' Donuts, and anytime else, normally I'll eat just a big breakfast like French toast, stuff like that. I don't like to eat before a game that much.
All right. What is your most favorite memorable moment on the ice?
Either going to districts or my first shutout while it was snowing at an outdoor rink.
Oh, nice. That's pretty cool. How about your least favorite moment?
Least favorite was probably, I don't really have one that sticks out to me.
That's a good thing. All right, this is Curtis Hart of the Grundy Senators 16U Red Team. Phoning in. Thanks, bud.
Yep, no problem.
All right, thank you for that interview. Now let's we're gonna go real quick to an analysis. Quick thing before we get into this analysis, I just want you Ztenders to know that just because we don't see you guys often, I can't get to every Ztender every day. We do have Skype analysis. Basically, what happens is we'll Skype. You'll have some videos on your computer. I can take control over your laptop or computer, and we'll watch those videos and we'll discuss them over Skype. So we can be anywhere. And it works well with some of my junior goalies that are in Canada, all over the place that I don't see throughout the season. And phone conversations don't always just do it. So we need to get that full analysis and watch the video and discuss it together. We also have, you can also send your clips to Ztending, and we will, we can do annotations and all that stuff, and that video analysis that every goalie should do. To watch themselves, not just to watch themselves, but have that critique. And it's not just myself looking over them. Yeah, we have I bounce stuff off of other coaches as well, and we work together in our own analysis. So just keep that in mind. It's not just one person looking at it, it's multiple people. You may mostly just hear my voice or have my annotations, but it's from a group of goalie coaches. So you do get multiple eyes and minds on the analysis. So we're going to take a look at this one. This one is a pretty simple analysis. It's with Frank Pecunis, the Pee Wee AA goalie of the Warwick Wildcats. And it's just real simple, a little thing about reading and reacting to puck. Let's check it out.
All right, here we got Frank Pecunis, Pee Wee AA goalie, having problems not reading the puck off the stick well, and always pushing over to that glove side. Here we see setting up. All right, he gets a little off square. So what happens is he gets that push, and more often than not, he's pushing to that glove side and not reading the play correctly and getting off and hoping he makes that save. So what happens here, if we're pushing off that glove side, we're going to be opening up a lot of a lot of blocker goals here. But the other thing, too, is if you do make that save, it's not going to be an easy rebound to cover, and we're going to let up a lot of awkward rebounds right here. So we're going to make sure we keep our upper body So right now we have our shoulders not aligned right now. We need to keep the upper body parallel to the ice, pads parallel to the ice, and our upper body, our spine perpendicular. Here we make the save, awkward rebound. Now your left leg is up, and you're going to have to get the right leg over, see Kai, and it's going to be slow getting to that next play. Next coming on shot, much better square, a little double coverage with the blocker. Trying it. What's happening here is you're bringing your glove up and around, trying to make that save instead of going direct out with it. Bring that glove, bring it direct out. All right, it's not a glove snap, it's a direct glove save. Just like you will in baseball.
All right, thank you. I hope you enjoyed that analysis, and it's just a little quick clip of analysis. But even little things like that can go a long way. Even if we do one of those a week, you have that one little thing you can focus on and work on, and it's a stepping stone to get yourself better and better, and to the potential that you see yourselves. And it leads me to another point: is you should have that goal, put it up there, set it up there, right? Everybody wants to get an NHL. Guess what? Set that goal. Because if you're only setting a low goal, right, what's supposed to be a realistic goal, then you're not going to get to the potential you need to go. You won't be able to surprise yourself, exceed the limits. You'll just be getting one spot and spot. Okay, this is where I should be. No, set that goal up there, exceed your expectations, and keep going, keep going. You will see that your potential will get there and progress by leaps and bounds. So big, huge goals. And one of the most things that's also going to get you to those goals, more than anything, is being positive. You have to be positive. Just for a recap, let's make sure we're doing our stretching, dynamic stretching. We're not just, when we do our static stretching, we're getting every part of the muscle. We're not just doing one side or the other. We're doing stretching on and off ice, we're warming up our bodies, our minds, and our eyes-hand coordination. Just, a couple things. Make sure you try the analysis. Absolutely. Send your clips into Ztending. Our email is info@ztending.com. Check the website out, ztending.com, as well. And just to see a couple things that we throw in there, you can actually download our app. It's just a web app. Basically, you go to, on your iPhone or Android, you go to you go through Safari, ztending.com, and it'll prompt you with the save this to your home screen. Save that to your home screen. Now you have a little web app, and it'll go to our web app, which also leads to our website as well. I want you to thank Ztenders once more. You make me a proud coach, and it's basically because you guys are getting it. You guys get that we are a community. Ztending community is big. It's getting bigger, and it's alive. And I appreciate that, and that's one thing I want to keep progressing. On another note, if you want to be featured, or if you want to be some part in any way and form of In the Crease Ztending, feel free to email me, and we'll maybe get you on the next hot seat. But once again, my name is John Ztending of Ztending Goalie School. Thank you.